weekend killing of an L.A. County Sheriff's deputy.
36 hours after the murder of our deputy, the men and women of our department arrested him.
Sheriff Robert Luna identifying him as Kevin Salazar. You're listening to ABC News.
At Fisher Investments, our clients know we have their backs.
How do your clients know that?
Because Fisher Investments is a fiduciary, the highest standard for a financial advisor. It means we're there for our clients and always put their interests first.
So wait, you do it because you have to?
No, we do it because it's the right thing to do. Our clients trust us with their retirement savings, and we know how important that responsibility is. So we take the time to really get to know them.
Get to know them how?
We make sure we understand their unique goals, finances, health, family, and lifestyle so we can tailor their portfolio to their specific needs. Our goal is to help them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Sounds like a big responsibility. You must make big commissions then, right?
No, we don't sell commission-based products. We have one single transparent fee that's structured so we do better when our clients do better. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you are switching to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Do you love working on cars but don't love your current job? If so, we need to talk. Hi, I'm Matthew Carlson, owner of Fix It Forward Auto Care. We're a family-owned full-service auto repair shop looking to hire skilled automotive technicians. With our state-of-the-art shops, great work environment with competitive pay and benefits, you'll enjoy a great job with a bigger purpose and a lot of opportunity for advancement. Visit FixItForwardAutoCare.com to apply. Fix It Forward Auto Care, the name you trust for car repair.
Fix It Forward Auto Care.
This is Weather and Ag in Focus with Bridgette Readel, Justin Storm, and Dean Wysocki.
Welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus. Thanks for joining us. It's Monday, September 18th, 1:06 right now. Check on your currents outside Fargo. Bridgette, you want to play a little game right off the bat of the show?
You want me to guess?
Let's play. What's the temperature outside?
I am going for a solid 76 degrees.
76. 79 degrees.
So
double or nothing?
Sure.
Wind. What is the wind speed?
A lot.
A lot. Southeast at 16, gusting to 26 miles an hour out there right now. It is a breezy afternoon, and we'll have a full check on your forecast coming up here in just a moment. But fun stuff today on the show. Our no guest today, so it's kind of a free-for-all Monday, Bridgette.
It is. That day moves around as a moving target for us. We did have a guest lined up for today. Unfortunately, he had to make a change, and so we'll see him next week. That will be Brian Furter. He is with the Red River Retention. Is it? I can't even talk. Red River Retention Authority. I knew there was another name there. So we'll have Brian.
Sometimes I'll start a sentence and I don't even know where it's going. I just hope I find it along the way.
That is my life right there. So additionally, though, I mean, the whole week, even aside from today, we do have quite a number of folks. Tomorrow, Andrew Thostenson, he is the NDSU pesticide certification program coordinator. He'll be joining us in studio. On Wednesday, that Fit Advocate from Minnesota. Actually, she was by request of one of our listeners. We'll have her in. Thursday, not that I don't look forward to guests every day, because I do. Thursday will be kind of fun. Neil Bean, he is a livestock producer, rancher, conservationalist from Northeast South Dakota. His farmland was originally explored by a guy by the name of Nicolette. This was prior to Lewis and Clark coming through. So we're going to have a chance to talk to Neil. He is the South Dakota Eminent Leader winner, as well as the Leopold Conservation winner. And then on Friday, Adam Howell. He is a tomato grower from Sun Gold Tomatoes in Illinois. He's going to give us the secrets.
He's going to give us the secrets, and our listener, and I'm sorry, I forgot who I'd have to go back and look in my emails,
Sure.
but he gave us all the different contacts and Facebook groups. Our a giant pumpkin grower here in North Dakota who's going to be dropping off his pumpkin gave us all the links and whatnot. I'm going to try and see if we can get some of those world record grade
nice
tomato seeds and see what we can do with them. I pulled up a picture of this tomato,
The 11
and
pounder?
it is the ugliest tomato I've ever seen in my life.
So the average human head weighs 10 pounds.
Yes.
This tomato weighs more than your head.
It's the size of your head,
That's
and it looks
crazy.
like it's got about 9 tumors growing off the side of it.
Now, as someone who has spent most of her weekend taking tomatoes and making them into other things, I'm sort of tomatoed out. I don't think an 11-pound tomato is in my future. I don't really need that.
This thing is so
horrific.
I don't
need the
know.
horrific. Thank you.
I mean, come look at this thing.
No.
Come on.
Okay, this is sort of like
it
those.
honestly looks like you take 4 tomatoes and just smush it right into the middle, and all the stems are the center of it.
When you do this whole come look at this thing,
Yeah,
it's kind
come
of like
look
when
at it.
somebody says this smells terrible. Here, smell it, and everybody
Hey,
goes,
this
"Oh,
tastes
good."
really bad. You want
No,
to try
I
it?
don't. You gave me a forewarning, and it's a terrible idea.
Oh man,
Goodness.
It just, I mean, it looks like, yeah,
Ugly?
like you take like 4 or 6 tomatoes and you just smash them together, point the stems all towards the center of it, and it's like a tomato donut, and the center is where all the stems are at.
Tomato
this
donut.
thing looks wicked.
That sounds terrible. Could we not suggest that to Sandy's Donuts, please? That'd be awful.
11.65 pounds.
That's wild. Okay.
That is something else.
How about something that we all really want to know? Okay, it's 79 degrees.
Oh, yes,
There's a lovely wind out
yes.
there. What's the rest of that story?
Oh,
Sir.
yes. You're probably wondering how hot it's going to be today, aren't you?
I do, because we are going to the field.
Yeah,
am I
we're
gonna?
gonna-
Do I have to put pants on? Am I gonna sweat? This is gonna be awful.
Well, I mean, with the wind, you probably won't.
Fine.
Yeah, it's 79. We're looking for highs near 81 degrees today. So temperatures should start to plateau as the upper level clouds increase. We'll hang on to the wind, though, through the rest of today out of the south-southeast. About 10 to 25 miles an hour, gusting to 30. It will be hazy and upper level clouds throughout the rest of the day. For tonight, partly to mostly cloudy down here in the Southern Valley. Those upper level clouds will stick around. Northern Valley, Devil's Lake Basin, should be looking at very clear skies outside of just a little bit of haze, a little tint to it. But I'm talking about the cloud cover for tonight and where it will be clear because the Northern Lights, pretty
Right.
semi-decent shot at seeing the Northern Lights
Unless there's
tonight.
cloud cover.
Unless there's cloud cover.
Thank you, Mother Nature.
We'll be keeping an eye out for that. And really, anytime after dark, it seems like they tend to peak somewhere between 11 p.m. and 2 a.m. And that's not to say that they don't peak at other intervals. That's just kind of generally the good window.
I'm not going to stay up that late, but generally I got to
Neither
get out
will
of
I.
bed at some point anyway in the middle of the night. So I guess I just should look out the window.
Yeah, just look out the window, look up,
Fine.
and see what you see to the north. Overnight low temperatures, not chilly, not mild, kind of falling right in between in the upper 50s. A few of us will level off near 60s. So I'd say a cozy night to go out looking for northern lights.
Can't be bad.
Northern Valley be just a touch cooler, lower to mid 50s. So not necessarily cold, but not too bad.
Now tomorrow I'm on the road.
Oh, no, you're on the road. Where are you going? It's not here because we have nice weather here
Right.
tomorrow.
So I'm going to be in South Dakota. How bad will it be?
Oh, no.
Those poor people.
Well, for
Every
South
time.
Dakota, I had to double check. I didn't right off the top of my head. I mean, I wasn't really looking at South
That's
Dakota
fine. You
at all,
might.
but,
Maybe I want to give them a heads up.
I
for
think
that.
it's all pretty clear for most of us, though. It's
Okay.
going to be a little hazier tomorrow than today. We'll kind of have a similar cloud cover, the upper level clouds. So we'll call it partly cloudy, filtered sunshine. It'll be our warmest day of the week, though. We'll be in the mid to upper 80s tomorrow. It'll be nice.
my.
We'll level off about 86, 87 here in Fargo with a west-southwest wind, 5 to 15 miles an hour. So not too bad.
In some ways, I feel like every time my pickup goes somewhere, there's probably like this little dust cloud hanging over it or storm cloud.
Yeah, why don't we just...
Am I going to be like that little kid on Charlie Brown's cartoons?
Are you
Pigpen?
saying you're dirty?
I was going to wash the pickup today, and then I realized, Usually that's I don't wash my vehicle from like Thanksgiving to Easter because frankly, what's the point?
Yeah, there's not much of a
So
point.
maybe I should try to get that done. I need an assistant to wash my
Where
vehicle.
in South Dakota are you going?
I'll be in Aberdeen.
Aberdeen. Yeah,
gonna be okay?
looks pretty good down there.
All right. Lucky them.
Aberdeen,
This time.
soda.
This time.
Yeah, you'll be flirting with 90 degrees down there.
Good Lord.
So it'll be a nice and warm one for you. How about humidity? Is it going to be very humid for you? Oh, it's all right, Bridgette.
Okay.
It's a dry heat.
That's a lie, but thank you.
Yeah, it should be a pretty nice day down there in South Dakota. Just about everyone up here will be having a nice day tomorrow.
Good.
As for the rest of the week, it does turn more wet as we head head towards Wednesday and then up to the upcoming weekend. So we'll have to talk about what that means for farmers out there, whether or not you want or you don't want the rain. A few isolated showers are possible Wednesday afternoon. This looks to be mainly after about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Highs reach into the upper to mid 70s, and the wind will be a light, subtle breeze, about 10 to 15. Thursday, wider spread showers and some thunderstorms come into the area. This will favor just west and north of Fargo, but we're still in that area where we're going to see the scattered showers in the afternoon and into the evening. Friday, kind of the same thing. It looks like scattered showers for most of the day, temps in the mid 70s. Then some isolated showers are possible on Saturday and Sunday, and I would favor more on Sunday than Saturday, but the showers and the cloud cover associated with that will leave us quite a bit cooler as colder air starts to pull down out of Canada. We're going to be close to 60 degrees over the weekend, so it'll be
pretty nice.
It'll be a cool afternoon for the weekend. More clouds than sun is what it looks like right now. So as for moisture amounts, if we're going to be watching for scattered showers Wednesday through Sunday, and Thursday, Friday look the wettest out of the two of those days. What does that necessarily mean for the ag community out there? I know a lot of us are at harvest. A lot of us are just getting done with some harvest. Is this going to fall in a good window between corns and bean and, say, small grains?
Small grains pretty much done. I think we can mostly say that's wrapped up. Soybeans, we have a fair amount of progress being made. I saw that over the weekend. We're continuing to see really good yields overall. Now, it depends on what fields you're in, right? But I'm hearing some rumors approaching your guess for our soybean field. Justin and I have yet to confirm it, but maybe someone will. And corn's drying down quickly. Seeing a lot of corn. It
sure does look like it.
So harvest is progressing right along. If we get a little bit of rain, again, this doesn't sound like it's going to be widespread 4 inches or anything like that. Maybe. What's that look on your face?
I don't know. How much rain is too much rain?
Do I get to pick the days that it's coming? Because I'd like that 4 inches of rain probably as soon as all the corn's done.
Why as soon as the corn is done?
So you don't have to be traveling in mud.
You mean like done drying or done harvesting?
Done harvesting.
Oh, okay. See, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Because I was going to say, why wait for it to dry out and then get the rain?
No, I'm thinking about mud, and it's maybe the PTSD of too many years of trucks stuck in fields.
Real. It'll get you.
Because man, there's times where we've had some really rough years. You know, trucks have that big safety pole in the front of them.
Yes.
Most of that happened because of sugar beet harvest in this region. But yeah, we get wet up here. And
here's what I'm
muddy.
thinking. It's it looks like 1 to 3 inches with some areas of 4 over in Lakes Country by the weekend. And it looks like most of this, again, like I was saying, is going to roll in. I'd say our first inch will maybe probably come on Friday, and then it looks like we'll probably get a good healthy dose of some wider spread heavier rains coming in Saturday night.
I feel we're going to soak this in well. I mean, if it's not a hard pounding, we had 2 inches in an hour type of thing, we'll probably take a lot of that moisture into the ground.
I'm sure we will, especially if we can get the top, just a good quarter, half inch at first, and then give it a day and then bring in the 1 to 2 inches of rain, because then that soil is primed to absorb it, because the soil, when it gets so hard and dry, it doesn't pull the moisture in right away. It just kind of sits on top of it until it kind of penetrates down a ways. There's
some stuff right now that just feels as hard as concrete. Your crop consultants are trying to pull soil samples out, and it's not so easy.
It definitely
really
isn't. And you were kind of touching on that. We'll be going out there to check our crop to see what it's drying down to and how our beans are progressing. And here's a little tease from last week's episode that we did.
Sure thing.
Where you went out to the field to kind of check out what it was. So this is a preview for episode 21 of Here We Grow. You can find those on Facebook or YouTube. Just search Weather and Ag in Focus. On our pages, we have our Here We Grow playlist, and it's our whole journey from when we decided that we were going to do this whole project all the way up to this coming up episode coming up this Friday, where the beans are finally drying down.
Welcome to our Here We Grow field. Our soybeans are getting ready to harvest, and maybe when we do harvest, I can find my pig out here. Maybe Adventure Chicken can help me find that missing pig. But meanwhile, let's find out what it's going to take to get this crop ready to go to harvest.
We're going to try.
That's what we're doing in our latest episode that came out, and the one on this Friday. Well, find out where our beans are at and if they're ready or not ready.
Always got to tune in to see.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's been a fun project to do so far. I've learned quite a bit.
So for those who are listening right now, I'm going to ask you to call us on our Red Wing Shoe phone line, 701-293-9000, to answer this question. That is, and you can also just text me. Many of you just text me directly or send me Snapchats while we're on air. I am curious to know what moisture you want and what you are finding if you're combining soybeans. Where's your moisture situation at right now? And this is not like what's in the soil. This is the actual moisture content of the crop, because we do check moistures. We don't want them too wet when we're harvesting.
Nope. And you, from what I understand, you don't want it too dry either.
Right. Can shell out.
We'll touch on that when we come back, so stay tuned. Weather and Ag in Focus. We'll be right back.
Livestock market is mostly lower with feeders down hard. For the American Ag Network, I'm Richard Risvet with this market update. The live cattle market seems to be at a standstill as traders patiently wait to see what develops this week. It's good to see midday box beef prices are higher, which is extremely important for traders to see as they ran most of the nearby contracts to new contract highs just last Friday. And at this point, traders are skeptical of overly supporting the market early this week, as it's yet to be seen how this week's cash cattle trade will pan out and what Friday's cattle on feed report will unveil. Last week, most of the cash cattle sales held off until Friday when prices were marked at $183 in the south, $3 higher than the previous week's average, and $286 to $292 in the north, which is steady to $2 higher than the previous week. Last week's negotiated cash cattle trade totaled 74,039 head. Of that, 90% were committed to the nearby delivery. The remaining 10% were committed for the deferred delivery. Box beef prices are higher, choice up 82 and select up 147 with a movement of 48 loads. And even though the nearby corn contracts are trading 4 to 5 cents lower, the feeder cattle market remains sharply lower. Traders ran the spot October contract to new highs last Friday, and now as they assess this week's market, traders are longing to see additional follow-through support from both the live cattle complex and buyers in the countryside before they elect to do much more. We'll get a look at the livestock numbers. This is the American Ag Network.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson. Are you over the age of 60 and been diagnosed with lung cancer? If so, you and your family may qualify for a cash award. Our experienced attorneys are standing by to evaluate whether you have a lung cancer claim that qualifies you for a cash award. The consultation is absolutely free, and there is no risk and no money out of pocket. We only receive a fee when we secure you and your family a settlement. 250,000 people are diagnosed with lung cancer every year. You're not alone in this battle. We can help make sure that you and your family are financially safe and that medical expenses are covered. Again, if you've been diagnosed with lung cancer and are over age 60, call now. Don't delay. There are deadlines for filing claims. We're standing by 24/7. Call us at 1-844-903-1744. 1-844-903-1744. That's 1-844-903-1744. Attorney advertising. William Stephacker Jr. is the attorney responsible for this ad. Main office, Granton, Pennsylvania. May not be available in all states.
Look at the livestock numbers. Live cattle October down 50 at 186.42. December down 80 at 191.02. February down 55 at 195.77. And the April live cattle, they're down 97 at 198.77. Feeders, September down 310 at 254.27. October down 397 at 260.50. Lean hogs October up 32 at 83.45. December down 22 at 74.87. And the February lean hogs, they're down 60 at 78.17. For the American Ag Network, I'm Richard Ristvet.
This is Weather and Ag in Focus with Bridgette Readel, Justin Storm, and Dean Wysocki.
Welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus. Thank you for being here with us today. Well, we've wrapped up the weather for now. We want to make sure that we say thank you to Peterson Farm Seed and Ellingson Drainage. We're going to go out to our field today and we'll have a chance to look at those Peterson beans. We don't even get to say roll that beautiful bean footage because it's the wrong bean, the wrong company, but we still know that they're beautiful beans.
Indeed they are.
And again, thank you to Ellingson Drainage as well. They've done a lot of great work in the area and more to come for many others. So for those who... Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I have a question.
What's that, sir?
And this just came to my mind because I was just thinking, we have this beautiful drain tile on our land that we're renting. That's there. And it's been so dry, we haven't been able to really use it outside of maybe pulling some moisture out this spring.
Right.
What I was thinking, if you had the water available, could you reverse pump that?
Oh, run it back through the tiles.
Could you like put like a pump and a hose on the outlet and just pump it back in and try and get some moisture in a field, or would that not really work?
So I don't know that that would work quite the way we're thinking of it, because here's why. Those drain runs, right? So that big plastic culvert looking stuff that's got the perforations through it.
Yeah.
The water's going to drain into it. Then they all come to the end of the field. They tie into one unit to get to the outlet pump. If you try to reverse that, I don't know that there would be enough horsepower to push it back, because you're using gravity to pull that, for that drain tile to come towards the outlet pump. I don't think you'd have enough power to push it all the way back.
Huh. Okay.
Just a thought. And you don't have a collection point for it to be at. So speaking of moisture though, that leads to the question I asked folks before we went to our break. And that is, if you are combining or planning to combine soon, what's your moisture on your soybeans right now? And what's your target moisture for when you want to be combining? I had a conversation with someone on Twitter over the weekend, or X, whatever we want to call it. And they combined some soybeans. Grandpa got a little jumpy, and he was taking 20% moisture beans off. Ooh. It's a little high, because now they're having trouble getting those soybeans out of the semi truck because they're rather sticky.
Yeah, I bet they are. I'm surprised that he didn't gum up the combine.
He may have, but you know what? Sometimes when you just want to go, maybe you ignore the warning lights and sirens and bells.
We'll just turn the music up a little louder. That's what I do in my car. Whenever I hear a weird noise, I fix it by turning the radio up.
And you know what? It works every time, right?
It does,
100%
every single
solution.
time.
It's ideal. So
it's just weird. The longer I do it, the louder I got to turn my music up. It's kind of odd, but it still works.
Well, for anyone who is not trying to avoid a problem, if you're looking to share your moistures, I would be very, very curious what you're looking at.
Yeah, and even on any crop too, if anything outside of soybeans that you're growing.
Yep, we'd look at corn.
It'd be nice to know what the crop is at around the area.
A lot of wheat came off very nicely as far as dry and so forth. You know, you were looking at moistures down in probably that 12, 13 range. Saw some really higher proteins, which will be interesting to see if the millers and bakers want protein that high, or if they're going to have to blend with some lower protein wheat in order to make it the right baking quality. That's usually what happens.
So you can have too high of a protein content in your wheat?
You can, and it can affect the baking quality.
Do you usually typically think of protein in wheat? Because I think soybeans and protein.
I would say that
beans.
That's a really good point. I think about it because I've always known about it. But
I've never thought of protein in wheat.
Yeah, so I can see why it didn't occur to me that that's an unusual thing, and you're like, wait, never heard it.
Yeah, that's odd.
New phone, who dis?
Yeah, new phone, who dis? I don't know who you is.
Well, maybe one of our ag headlines has to do with new phone, who dis, but who's going to be farming your land? University of Minnesota has some farm transition and estate planning webinars coming up. They're starting October 4th. These are free. You can sign up to be a part of them. They'll be held Wednesdays through October for a 2-hour time block each day. And they're talking about building your goals, assembling your team, taxes. Nobody wants to get caught by surprise by the tax man.
No.
Wills, trust, ownership, and then also putting all those basics together with things that include health care, business transfer planning, etc. So if folks are listening and have an interest and would indeed like to know more, you can email me, ag@flagfamily.com. And I will be happy to share that link with you. It's easier. University of Minnesota has some weird links and emails, so sometimes it's just easier. I'll just send you the link.
Well, I know that their extensions, their email addresses are quarter mile long.
Poor Randy Nelson, one of our favorite guests. There was just not enough time in an hour to share that poor man's email address. It was easier just to send us the questions. We'll talk to Randy for you.
We'll forward it on.
We'll help. Will help. So if you're into training and you want to do one more, NDSU is also hosting their what's called the PQR training. And I've done this as well. It's PQR suicide prevention, question, persuade, and refer. And it helps you walk through the steps of someone who might be in crisis, or even if it's yourself. How do you get help? What are the questions that you can help them answer? How to find help? And those PQR training sessions have already kicked off. It's a 1-hour session. And the next one is going to be October the 10th. That's a Tuesday. It is also free, and it's open to anybody interested. Not even if you're just ag, you can do this. Anyone who's listening. So if you would like to register for that, you can also email me, ag@flagfamily, and I'll send you the information for that link too.
And when did you say that was? That was October 12th?
October 10th is the next
10th.
session. Yes.
All right.
Yep.
So that's just about 4 weeks from now.
It's coming up fast.
Three weeks.
Yep. And so for folks who, these are free sessions. Our extension services locally, whether it's in Minnesota or North Dakota, do a really nice job of providing things to the rest of us that can be useful. So much appreciated on their part. Yeah.
Do we have, just thinking, I could just go back and look, but do we have Randy Nelson coming on again with us one more time before he's done? Or?
He's already transitioned to his new agronomy professor role at University of Minnesota Crookston. We don't have him booked yet. He needed a little time to settle into his semester.
Right, let him figure out where things are at.
Yeah, so once he feels like he has a home, we're going to plan on bringing Randy back in, because now it'll be fun to talk about his transition from so much of extension education, especially with lawn and garden, to let's talk about a crop.
Direct education.
Yeah, touching the minds of young students.
Yes.
If only my
or
professors
at least
knew.
attempting to. There's a lot of students out there that just don't want to learn.
I am pretty sure there are some professors, whether they're yours or mine, who are like, I can't believe they made it that far in life. Never saw the signs of that in class.
I've had a few teachers that thought that. Look at me now, I'm on the radio. I made it.
Woohoo! They're like,
kinda.
Kind of.
It's like, yeah, dude, settle down. You're on radio.
But they also realized we were the ones who talked in class all the time.
Yeah, and I guess that fits us pretty good over here.
Seems to be. Yeah, it's going to be okay.
I also had teachers say that you'd never walk around with a calculator in your pocket. Math. Why do I need to know how to do this? The calculator's, you're not going to have a calculator in your pocket all the time.
No, you do.
Joke's on you, Mrs. Schlemer.
I've got a phone.
I got a calculator now.
Although I would still like to tell Mr. Ruffsvold that due to that high school algebra,
wasn't
as handy as he said it was. Just a heads up, pal.
You're not still trying to find X?
You know what? He could have done a lot better job of trying not to flunk me. I'd appreciate that. Thank you.
We got to hit bottom of the hour news. When we come back, we got more ag topics. We got another check on the forecast. And again, if you want to share with us the moisture in your crop, where you're at towards harvest, give us a call on the Red Wing Shoes phone line. That's 701-293-9000. If you've done any moisture testing on your beans, on your corn, on your flowers, on your...
Oh, but we don't have any flowers off yet. I'd be surprised
sunflowers,
if we do.
you test moisture on sunflowers, or you just wait for them to turn crunchy?
You actually do a moisture test on them. They're not crunchy till after they get run through the roaster.
Ah, there you go.
There you go.
Well, yeah, if you want to let us know what your crop is looking like, what percentage it's down to, and why that percentage is so important to our urban half of our audience, we'd love to hear from you. And we'll touch on all of that and a few more things right after the bottom of the hour news. So stay tuned.
It's the Eyes on 45th Open House today from 4 to 6 p.m. Stop in and be a part of the fudge making contest. There's giveaways and great sales inside the store. Say hi to Deb and to Dr. Tufty and meet the new eye docs on the team, Dr. Josh Damos and Dr. Cody Ward. It's 4 to 6 p.m. today. Eyes on 45th, 1801 45th Street South in Fargo. Don't miss the open house today. 4 to 6 p.m. Eyes on 45th.
Pucklet Chevrolet GMC believes you deserve a reliable pre-owned vehicle that fits your needs and budget. Car Bravo at Pucklet Chevrolet GMC gives you an expansive inventory of Car Bravo certified GM and non-GM used vehicles. Confidence and peace of mind come standard, as every Car Bravo certified vehicle includes a 126-point inspection and a 6-month or 6,000-mile warranty. Choice, confidence, peace of mind. Feel the used euphoria at PuckletValleyCity.com, North Dakota's Car Bravo headquarters.
Good afternoon, I'm Tom Tucker, WDAY News First. A body was found on the bank of the Red River in Moorhead. Police were called to the 1400 block 321. Police were called to the scene just before noon Sunday morning. The body was taken to the Ramsey County Medical Examiner's office for an autopsy and identification. No word yet on whether it's the man who jumped into the river last week while fleeing Fargo police. A 37-year-old man died after crashing his van into a traffic signal pole in Fargo Sunday morning. It happened at 13th Avenue and Fickner Drive just after 3:30. Life-saving measures were attempted on the scene. The man was taken to a local hospital where he died. A Fargo man was killed in an ATV crash in Becker County late Saturday afternoon. 61-year-old John Eric Darling died after he ran into a tree on Rat Lake Trail west of County Highway 35. The cause of the crash remains under investigation. Darling was a well-liked and respected longtime athletic trainer at Fargo North High School. The number of drug driving arrests are up significantly in Minnesota. New state numbers show drug driving arrests went up 96% throughout the state between 2018 and 2022. Public safety officials say it's important for drivers to understand that DWI charges can apply to many substances, including cannabis. Tom Tucker, WDAY, and WDAYRadioNow.com.
Hi, Teresa here, the owner of the Fargo Red Wing Shoe Store. I want to take a minute and thank you for shopping your local small businesses. By shopping at your local small businesses, you're investing in your community and helping create local jobs. As a small business owner, I am able to choose unique products just for you. I'm a friend, I'm your neighbor. Invest in your community and shop local. Thank you from the Red Wing Shoe Store. Red Wing Shoes for ultimate durability.
It's a beautiful sunny day and you're enjoying the comfort of your home. But have you ever thought about the safety and the need for fresh air? At Precision Concrete Cutters, we specialize in egress windows, ensuring safety while providing a breath of fresh air.
Imagine having a window that not only allows for easy escape in emergencies, but also floods your basement with natural light and fresh air. With Precision Concrete Cutters, you get the expertise and craftsmanship you can trust. Our skilled team will transform your basement into a safe and inviting space. Don't settle for dark and stuffy. Visit pccnd.com.
The Coffee Club will be live on location at the new Krebs Family Farm Bakery and Coffee Shop on 13th Avenue in Fargo, Thursday, September 21st.
It's an open house for their brand new location with a 2-for-1 hot coffee special on dark roast, medium roast, and flavored coffee, or buy 2 coffees and get a fresh baked muffin of your choice, baked fresh at Krebs.
The Coffee Club again will be live on location Thursday, the 21st at Krebs Family Farm Bakery and Coffee Shop on 13th Avenue South, just east of 23rd Street in Fargo.
Weather and Ag in Focus on WDAY Radio.
And welcome back to Weather and Ag in Focus. It's 1:36 on this Monday afternoon. Thanks for rejoining us. Question of the day is, what's your crop moisture content at? If you've been out there, if you're getting down towards those teens or single-digit percentages, we'd love to hear what those numbers are on your beans, your corn, anything else you're growing. 701-293-9000 is the Red Wing Shoes phone line. You can use that to call us into the studio with any questions or comments, or if you just want to join in on the conversation at any point of our show, feel free to do so. We love hearing from you. Email addresses for those who can't call but still want to share is weatherorag@flagfamily.com, and we appreciate all the emails that we get as well, because we get several throughout our shows
and text messages, which I just got one because
what's this?
Okay, so one of our listeners, Chad.
Yes, Chad.
Yes, you know Chad. We've done a video with Chad actually. He said, "Hey, I didn't catch quite all of you were saying, but there are even more benefits of rain coming." Some folks who have been waiting to put on fertilizer, they were waiting because it was so dry.
That's me.
Yeah, right. That's you.
That's me.
Can't wait to race out for more fertilizer. So that's going to help. And much like when I mentioned the crop consultants, they've been hoping for some rain in order to get some soil probes in the ground. Same thing with sugar beet farmers. It's going to be a lot easier on the beet lifters to be able to get in the ground.
Oh, good call.
Save some more beet tails, which adds more sugar to the overall crop. So that's important too. I think equipment in general is going to like that. We've got folks that do some fall tillage, so this will burn up less of their chisel plow sweeps or their field cultivator sweeps, etc.
Yeah, a little less fuel as well.
A little less fuel, so you don't have to pull as hard.
Now, when you're looking at almost $5 a gallon diesel,
yeah,
that'll add up real quick. Especially, what do you get when you're pulling a plow through a bit? Let's just say big old plow through some hard ground.
So when you say plow, we're talking like the old-fashioned great big moldboard plow, like John Deere's plows,
like sticks
or
in the
anybody's
ground.
plows.
How many miles per gallon do you think that tractor is getting if it is yanking a big plow?
It's a lot less miles per gallon, and you start going to like gallons per hour. It's not about the miles right now.
Oh man. Yeah, that'll add up real quick then. Hey, what was it? Remember when we had our last little gas scare, little incident where
Go
It
fill
went
your
up for the
tanks.
first time. We're talking about how it's going to be so much more input costs for farmers in the spring.
Sure.
What were we looking at? Was that $5 diesel? Was it
at
$7
least.
diesel?
If it was 5 here, we were probably 7 on the coast.
Yeah, I thought it was somewhere up in that
Yeah,
ballpark again,
it's-
and now we're inching back up towards that $4 a gallon for 87 unleaded and $5 diesel. Here's another question for you.
Sure.
And maybe one of our, well, I can't say truckers because a lot of people would probably do this, but truckers, farmers, I just went to the gas station. This has never crossed my mind because I don't have anything that runs on diesel. I
Right.
never have.
Okay.
There's diesel 1, there's diesel 2.
Yes.
And there's a diesel 50-50 blend. And what is the difference between, why are there 3 different types of diesel fuel?
I can't wait for somebody to correct me because I might not quite get this completely right. But
701-293-9000.
feel free to critique me. I'm trying to make sure I explain this well. Okay, number 1, diesel fuel. It has properties in it so that when it gets cold out, you don't gel up your diesels.
Sure, okay.
Okay, so they're going to run better in colder weather. Number 2 doesn't have those properties, but as a kid, I remember being told that number 2 diesel ran better mileage because it didn't have those properties in it. I cannot give you all the technical terms off the top of my head or what those properties are. And then a 50-50 blend would be the 2. Because right now I'm looking at a different vehicle, and we did have a discussion about a diesel because right now some of these GM products have a nice small diesel engine to them,
right?
With really good gas mileage. But my concern is when I travel further south in the winter months, as I start coming north, will I run into a problem before I get the cold weather diesel fuel back in a vehicle after I've been in the southern states?
Right,
so we're
right.
not quite sure yet.
I almost bought a diesel vehicle. I was going to buy a
Volkswagen Rabbit?
Wow, man, that'd be fun. That'd be really fun. I almost bought a Jetta TDI turbo diesel, and they wanted like an extra $3,000 for the same car with the same mileage because it was diesel. And at the time, I couldn't pull up that extra $3,000 for it.
So I have 2 things related to diesel fuel yet.
Sure.
One is even farm related. So help me remember that. But the first one is that I had a friend in high school who had one of those little rabbits.
Man, them are cool.
And it
Fun
was
little
so
go-karts.
lightweight. One of the streets in town had these really tall curbs. They were probably like a 12-inch curb. I don't know why that
man.
happened.
Floating.
But we used to pick that car up. Like if you had 5-6 people, you could pick the car up and set it up on the sidewalk.
Really?
Yeah, because it was pretty light. So also I've been known to be an instigator of really bad good ideas. Then second of all, when it comes to diesel fuel, and when we were talking about the difference between number 1, number 2, et cetera, there's also a difference between highway diesel, like the truckers use, and farm fuel. So there is less tax on farm fuel, and it's a different color. It's actually dyed. So when farmers mention, getting pulled over with their equipment and they get their tanks dipped, or if a trucker gets dipped, they're looking to make sure that you're not running the lower taxed diesel fuel that belongs in farm equipment in your over-the-road vehicles.
So is it like diesel 1 through 4 now?
No, it's not numbered, but there is farm fuel versus highway fuel.
And I'm imagining you don't get that farm fuel at your typical gas stations around the area.
I think there are some places that you can, right? In some smaller communities, but growing up, we always had a tank on the farm with diesel fuel in it.
I'm learning all sorts of things.
And I hope I'm not just making this up. Time out. I actually have a listener who just told me the answer we were looking for
really?
on diesel.
What do they got to say?
Number 1, fuel has less paraffin. That's the additive that I couldn't think of.
And that's what makes it gel up less?
That prevents the gel from happening in a
Okay.
diesel. And when I say gel, I mean it's like the fuel starts to solidify
it turns
to a
into
gel.
Gel.
Yes.
And that's okay.
Does that help?
That does help. And that's the difference between number 1 and number 2 is number 1 doesn't gel up as much.
It's a winter fuel. And
So
also,
why would that be available now?
it's possible that it could be. Maybe in an early precursor to winter. But here's maybe the other reason why. This listener, thank you, Joe, also says change your tanks when the geese fly south as a rule of thumb. Geese are flying. I heard them honking out my window
I just
today.
saw them out there. They're back in our parking lot again.
Murdered chickens are back in the yard out
The
here.
one tried to kill my car when I was driving in. I was like, you're about to get ran over, bird.
That bird doesn't care.
It stood there, and I was like,
that bird will hold its ground.
I was like, if I was leaving, maybe I'd
Yes,
run it over.
we do have some Canadian geese right here out on the lawn of the studio. I'm not saying they're overly friendly, but we do call them murder chickens.
They
for
are
a
not
reason.
friendly at all.
So Chad and Joe have been helping out tremendously, making sure that I get all the right answers when I can't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, appreciate that,
Yes.
Joe. It's very helpful. And why don't we switch on over to one of our ag topics here? And
What you got?
feral hog toxicant.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so this, we don't exactly have feral hogs in North Dakota.
Well, we have the stray hog.
There was a stray hog, and that was up by Tulna.
And someone
Yes.
didn't it attack somebody?
Well, it did go after a farmer, and he just
Quote,
shot it and killed
unquote,
it.
it attacked
If you're being
someone?
attacked by a pig, that is fair game to shoot.
Yeah.
I don't care what
Shoot it,
PETA says.
Hit it with your car.
Done deal.
Whatever
So,
needs to be done.
There are more than 3 million feral hogs in Texas, and they are causing over $500 million in damage to ag and private livestock throughout the year. So currently, there is some work being done on a toxicant that can be used to control them and stop the economic impact, because these hogs are rooting up farmland, pastures. They are attacking other wildlife.
They're attacking people.
They can also carry disease such as African swine flu, etc. And so this new toxin, it's a werifin-based toxicant, and that could help slow the out-of-control feral hog numbers right now that are a concern for landowners.
So this is just kind of like a rat poison? Like you just put it out and let the hogs eat it? Or is there any details to that?
I think we could potentially call it a poison. It sounds like it's much more effective than just birth control, if you will. So yes, I think they are evaluating a number of products because the damage is so high from these animals. Yeah, Mother Nature's not always nice.
Nah, it's cruel.
It's a little cruel.
So
yes.
cruel.
And so this would also, the Extension Service in Texas is working with farmers to really correctly and consistently use this toxicant. So they want to make sure it's used in the right manner. But probably the biggest concern is that these hogs can act as a vector for African swine flu and other diseases that we do not want transferred to our domesticated herds.
Well, even the whole transfer to people, we don't need a whole H1N1 outbreak again.
I think that would be a good idea.
Yeah.
I would like to prevent a lot of those things from happening.
They had a bunch of rumors going on about, they're rumors, so
do
I'm not
I have
going
to put on a tinfoil hat for this?
No,
still?
they're not. It's not tinfoil hat.
Okay,
I'm just
good.
not going to bring it up.
God
so,
bless you.
Yeah. Well, we got to hit another break here. We got another check on the forecast. More ag topics coming up on the show. I think maybe something else. We'll decide during the break if I want to do it.
I'm going to try to fix
not.
this chair. I just actually hit the button and it was like a Tim Conway move where I just fell right below the desk.
Janae listens to the show. Janae, you need to put your chair down. You're sitting way too high in this thing.
My feet are dangling. This is like the one time I chose to sit down in a chair for this show, and I'm like, I can't reach my mic. I can't find my sheets. My chair is up and down. My feet don't touch the ground. You know what? I'm just going to lay on the floor back here and talk from down there. It'll be better.
These microphones do wibble wobble around quite a bit.
Yours does.
Yours is on a post.
Mine
That's
does
right.
not.
All right. Well, we'll take
done.
a short moment here. We'll come back with a check on the forecast, your questions, your emails, and our ag topics in just a moment.
Boost your crop's health with Domark 230 ME and Badge SC fungicide exclusively from Gowan, USA. Domark's systematic action teams up with Badge's outstanding mixing properties for unbeaten disease control on sugar beets, dried edible beans, and canola. Experience the power of two different modes of action with Domark and Badge. Don't wait. Contact your local ag retailer and ask about Domark 230 ME and Badge SC. Always read and follow label directions from Gowan, USA.
You're building stuff, but you don't have the tools or machinery. Contact Zeus Sales and Equipment. They have what you need. Their vast inventory includes items such as rough terrain and electric scissor lifts, skid steers and compact loaders, walk-behinds, and attachments for sale and rent. Their team is dedicated to helping you find the right equipment. Competitive pricing and flexible options make them the go-to for contractors. 2 locations, the Hollywood Lumber Company and in Fargo. Call 701-951-7368. 951-RENT. ZeusRentals.net. The power of Zeus.
It's Jay and Ronnie from the Coffee Club, and we enjoy drinking coffee because it keeps us energized and focused.
Well, let's be frank. I enjoy drinking coffee because coffee keeps me wide-eyed in the morning, but I'll tell you this type of coffee is organic, specialty-grade coffee, beans selected from the top 2% available, 100% Arabica bean coffee, certified organic, non-GMO, low acidity, rich, smooth, and ready to drink.
The finish is clean and it has a pleasant aftertaste. It's delicious. It's so far the best coffee that we've had. It's also roasted and packed in the US of A. We love it and we guarantee you will too. All you need to do is go to mystore.com, click on My Coffee, and enter the promo code WDAY.
That's promo code WDAY to get your own My Coffee.
It's also roasted and packed in the US of A. We love it and we guarantee you will too. Go to mystore.com, promo code WDAY.
Hi, I'm Deanna Ness, owner of S&S Promotional Group. Charlie joined our team as a promotional consultant. Charlie, what have you found coming into S&S that's been so great?
It's been exciting to learn I can help clients get the brands that I love, like Swiss Army, JBL, Stanley, Travis Mathew, Nike, and more. There's no better opportunity than to co-brand your company with a brand name.
Talk with us. Let's brainstorm. Pick your promotional products and clothing, and let's get your company rocking. sspromotionalgroup.com, your branding partner.
At Fisher Investments, our clients know we have their backs.
How do your clients know that?
Because Fisher Investments is a fiduciary, the highest standard for a financial advisor. It means we're there for our clients and always put their interests first.
So wait, you do it because you have to?
No, we do it because it's the right thing to do. Our clients trust us with their retirement savings, and we know how important that responsibility is. So we take the time to really get to know them.
Get to know them how?
We make sure we understand their unique goals, finances, health, family, and lifestyle so we can tailor their portfolio to their specific needs. Our goal is to help them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Sounds like a big responsibility. You must make big commissions then, right?
No, we don't sell commission-based products. We have one single transparent fee that's structured so we do better when our clients do better. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you are switching to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
In business, service is everything. Cintas delivers what you need to better serve your customers. Whether it's freshly laundered work apparel for almost any job imaginable, tested and inspected fire protection systems, first aid and safety supplies, on-site AED training, or mops and restroom products, stocked and ready when you need them. Better work days happen together. So visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
This is Weather and Ag in Focus with Bridgette Readel, Justin Storm, and Dean Wysocki.
All my favorite sounds as we come back for Weather and Ag in Focus. Thank you for joining us. It's going to be a good day right here in the studio. And then we're going to the field, Justin Storm.
Yeah, we'll head out there right after the show here. So we'll be out there in about probably a half hour, 40 minutes from now.
Well, we can consider it a field trip.
Hey, I see what you did there. I like that.
Working on my dad jokes today.
They're getting better.
Not really, but thank you for trying to make me feel better. Okay, it's only Monday, but we know that the weekend's going to come. What's the rest of my week going to look like because I travel?
Right. Well, the week as a whole is kind of looking split in my opinion, and I say that because we'll have a nice couple of days, and then the back half of our week looks to be turning more on the wet side. So for today, what we're looking at is hazy, partly cloudy sunshine out there. Temperatures are rounding right around 80 degrees right now. That's about as warm as we're gonna get. We'll bump up another degree or two, say 81, maybe 82 degrees here in Fargo, with southeast winds on the breezy side, 15 to 25 miles an hour. We'll get a few gusts up to 30, and it won't be until after dark that we see the wind really start to lighten up, about 5 to 15 miles an hour. Temperatures will cool down towards the upper 50s for tonight. It'll be partly cloudy, a little bit more upper level cloud cover down here in the Southern Valley, but if you do have clear skies or clearer skies, keep an eye north. You might see the northern lights tonight. For tomorrow, mid and upper 80s. It's the warmest day of our 10-day forecast. We'll top out at 87 degrees. It'll be hazy again, a little more haze tomorrow than today. Partly cloudy conditions with lighter wind, 5 to 15 from the west-southwest. Light wind continues on Wednesday. Lower level smoke will start to funnel into the area. We'll have a chance for a couple isolated showers late in the day with temperatures in the mid-70s. And we'll stay in the mid-70s on both Thursday and Friday. Each day a likely chance for wider spread rains. Not all day rains, but multiple rains throughout the day. And for the upcoming weekend, it'll be a little brisk out there. It'll turn breezy. We'll get gusts of 25 miles an hour again. There will be more clouds than sun. It's the way it looks right now with isolated shower chances on both Saturday and Sunday, highs in the lower 60s.
Sounds ideal.
It's a nice fall weekend. A
It
few
is.
showers, brisk.
Very brisk.
Yeah.
Okay, if it's going to be brisk and we're getting ready for fall, that reminds me of like as a kid growing up when we would round up, right? It was time to bring cattle home.
Yeah.
So I'm going to jump ahead just a little bit. Some of the things that are going to be going on this month would be, in fact, North Dakota Stockmen's Association's annual meeting. They'll be out in Watford City. That'll be the last week of this month.
Mm-hmm.
They have a lot of cool things. They do, number one, they do a lot of their business, their policy meetings, etc. North Dakota Stockmen's Association actually started with a farmer. Words, so hard to talk.
Words are difficult.
It started with a farmer out in western North Dakota. His name was Andrew Johnston. He was with the Triple V Ranch, and he was tired of cattle wrestling. He said, that's enough. And so this was 94 years ago. They sat down and started to have a discussion about how they could create an association that would help with the prevention of that. And then also he was the guy who helped build a brand registry for the state of North Dakota. And so now North Dakota State Stockmen's will be celebrating that again with their convention this month out in Watford City. There'll be a showing of the movie End of the Rope, which was done by Canticle Productions out of Bismarck, which is actually the story of the last lynch mob in the state of North Dakota. So all sorts of historic things going on out there. Lots of talk about policy and trade issues and so forth for stockmen in the state, which kind of leads me to the fact that in late January, part of February, will be the National Cattlemen's Association's annual meeting, and that will be held in Orlando. I'll be down there for that. And for those of you who have all the talents, they are looking for folks to sing the national anthem to be part of their talent draw for it. So if you think you can sing, Justin, you want to hum a few bars? What do you got over there?
Yeah, I'm not very good at singing, Bridgette.
Not sure if I want to put my application in
Yeah, I don't
or
know
not.
if I want to do that.
I always think you need a song that tells a story. So if you think back to all that older music, that's the best ones. Want to know one of my favorites?
What's that?
Okay, this is only because I just want to share. Don't you love the story in the song Harper Valley PTA? Do you know it?
I don't think I do.
Oh, well,
You want to know mine?
I do, but I don't think we can sing them this whole time. But yeah, what's yours?
I'm a lonely little petunia and an
Onion
patch.
That is a favorite. I wish they'd let us play that.
Good one.
Maybe we'll have to.
We could try and see what happens.
We could try.
What's the worst that happens?
We
I get
slapped
a
with a copyright
flag?
infringement.
Who cares about a little red flag?
Why don't you sing it?
I'm a lonely little petunia in an onion patch.
That's
an
perfect.
Onion patch.
See?
An onion patch.
Who needs bumper music? I have you.
When you can sing it yourself, there's no point.
Here you go. Yeah, that's exactly the point. Here, see, like I said, I like the ones that tell the story.
Yep, that's a pretty good one. For those that don't know the lonely little onion and petunia, or a lonely little petunia and an onion patch, that's an old classic that we pulled out of the bin.
Yep.
We used to play on the show periodically before we started. We got our deal with Hefty Seeds to live stream over to their platform as well as on Facebook and YouTube Live. And
so we gotta be careful.
Ever since we did that, we lost all the music that we can play that has a copyright on it.
Every morning when I'm on Bonnie and Friends, they start my segment with the theme to Green Acres. So all day long, I hear in my head, Green Acres is the place to be. I'm like, oh my God, this is going to stick with me till noon.
I was just thinking there of the Green Giant one. When you said green, I'm like, oh, giant. Green giant.
That would be where a lot of our friends around like Le Sueur, Minnesota are sending all their vegetables to be processed to Green Giant veggies. To me, in a freezer case near you.
Yeah. So why don't we do a little reminder? What do we got coming up through the week again today? Our guest today, they had to back out last moment, so we got them rescheduled for next week, and that was going to be Brian Feuder, right? The Red River Retention Authority.
Say that slow.
Oh, my goodness.
Sometimes I'll start a sentence, and I don't even know where it's going. I just hope I find it along
You have
the
to
way.
use that one
That's
twice in
true.
one show.
True. And even like into next week, you think about all the guests that are going to join us. Next week, I have a fellow coming on from Oaks Truck and Trailer because he has the coolest setup to not only tow semis, but pull farm equipment out of stuck sloughs and mud holes. So for all of you who have had these problems, you're like, I just got my entire air seeder stuck. How am I going to get it unstuck? You're going to want to listen to this guy and how they do it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and tomorrow's guest, that's Andrew
Thostinson. Yep.
Man, that's was that 4 syllables? Thostinson.
You can ask him when he gets here.
Yeah, so he's NDSU pesticide certification. Blah, blah, blah program. We're talking about.
It's not just me.
Paraquat.
That's not just me.
We got the Fit Advocate from Minnesota. On,
she farms and is into fitness. So she's from Minnesota, where we have versus when we've had Farm Fit Mama on, and Farm Fit Mama is over in South Dakota.
Yeah, but I think that's going to wrap it up for the show today. We'll be back tomorrow from 1 to 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
We are. I'm just getting a video from one of our farmers, and they're lifting sugar beets, and she's a little dry.
Oh, look at that.
Look at that video.
That's grand. That's great. Well, what identifies as number 1 in the afternoon, that being the Jay Thomas Show, is going to be coming up next here in about 6 to 7 minutes, so stay tuned. So much more here on WDAY Radio.
No games, no gimmicks, no bull. At Luther Family Buick GMC, our